roller derby. We're now in the first period of the second half. The score right now, 21-9 in favor of the Raven team. All right, now there's plenty of action here. Of course, my name is Delmer Anderson. Primarily, I'm here to give you all the color, all the sidelights, all the rules and regulations of this, the most fascinating rough sport there possibly could ever have been invented. Right here beside me, my very good friend and, of course, the West Coast's most popular sportscaster, Mr. Walt Harris. While the action's in progress, I'm going to turn the mic over to Walt Harris. It's all yours.
Thanks, Elmer. Let's go down to the track where the action is taking place between the Ravens and the Bombers. This is the first period in the last half. The half ended with a score of 21-9. The Ravens leading the Bombers. The Ravens are in the dark jerseys. The Bombers are in the white jerseys. Watch the action at the rear of the pack. The jammers are wearing striped helmets. The blockers are wearing the solid colored helmets. Down goes Darren Alsop as he was trying to jam. The jam comes to an end with no score. It remains 21-9, the Ravens leading the Bombers. Elmer, it might be a good chance now to tell the folks what to look for, why these striped helmets are the jammers, and how they get their points.
Well, the helmets is the innovation primarily because of the tremendous injury as far as the skating equipment of the all roller derby skaters in the 6-team league here, the National Roller Derby League. You must watch first for the striped helmet. The skater with the striped helmet is the one that can do the scoring. However, all the jammers, that's all those that leave the pack, even those with the blocking helmet or the solid type helmet, they may jam if they so desire. And a jam is when one or more skaters leave the pack in their efforts to score a point. They have 90 seconds. Remember, 90 seconds from the time they leave the front of that pack, that is the striped helmet skater, to circle a track and pass a member of the opposite team. There's a whistle on the play, it looks like, and there's some action, and a play-by-play announcer, Walt Harris, takes over.
Elmer, on the last play, Sharon Alsop with an illegal block drew 2 minutes in the penalty box. When a penalty is called, that means your team is one member short. You cannot substitute. The Ravens are skating with 4 skaters. The Bombers with 5. The striped helmets of the girls that score the points. Out and jamming now, there are your 2 lead jammers. Number 52 of the Ravens is Sharon Stevens. Right behind her, 37, Judy Sawinski of the Bombers. They have 90 seconds in which to circle this track, catch the pack, and score the points. 90 seconds starts to pick off immediately as the jammer gets out of the pack. The jammer explained the jammer must work their way up from the rear of the pack. They must get by the opposing blockers. Once they circle the track and cut the pack, then each member of the opposing team they pass, they get a point. Sharon Stevens, 52 of the Ravens, still with the lead, closing on Ann Carvello, number 40, who will be blocking for the Bombers. Watch the action at the rear of the pack as they try and move by for points as Ann Carvello with a block on Sharon Stevens. Judy Sawinski has moved by to grab the lead. She is right behind Jean Porter, the Indian girl, number 56. Down goes Judy Sawinski. Down goes 3 skaters. That fall down there in the track. The attendants are out there immediately to check the girls. How about the attendants, Elmer?
Well, we have a jam-packed house tonight, dear Walt, as is every roller derby game. And wherever you fans are watching roller derby, no matter what city you might be in, be sure and keep posted by and keep calling your radio, your television station, or newspapers, and watch for roller derby whenever it appears in your city or nearby. Right now, the score is 21-9 in favor of the Raven team, one of the most powerful teams in the National Roller Derby League. The pack is being formed, and we want to tell you as much as possible about the rules and regulations as we possibly can to help you understand the game as accurately as though you were right here at the San Francisco Armory. Watch for the striped helmet. They always start the jam from the rear of the pack. The time limit is 90 seconds, and that begins when the striped helmet skater leaves the front of the pack. Any skater, when they leave the front of the pack, they have 90 seconds to circle the track and pass members of the opposite team, of which they get 1 point for every one they pass.
Jammers coming around on the outside and getting out of the pack, leading away is Ann Carvello of the Bombers, and right behind her, Sharon Alsop, 55, whose penalty time is up now, back in action. Out there, too, is Gloria Milford, who's up, Sharon Alsop on the track. That was Sharon Alsop out of action. We now have 2 jammers, and both of them belong to the Bombers. Ann Carvello, number 40, from San Francisco, her hometown. And Gloria Milford, number 36, right behind her. They catch the rear of the pack. That's when they'll try and move for the big points. Remember, the Bombers trail 21-9. There's Anna Jensen's up the gal on the track. She's going to be past the points. Down go the jammers. Both jammers had to jump the fallen skater, Sharon Alsop, but they both got a point as they did so. They've been able to retain their balance. They could have gone on and tried for more points. That's why in roller derby you have to keep your eye on all the action. Score now 21-11. There's action in the pack to mean the scoring of points, and that's just what happened on that play. Sharon Alsop was dumped on the track, a block thrown by Annis Big Red Jensen. Like shooting sitting duck, she was passed by both jammers, each of them scoring a point. Score now 21-11, the Ravens over the Bombers. The pack will be bunched again in a moment, and action will continue. The Jammers will get at the rear of the pack and have to work their way up. Roller derby, the speed of ice hockey and the roughness of football, the fastest growing sport in America today. Jammers at the rear of the pack, and here we go as they try and work their way out. Jeannie Porter, the Indian girl, number 56 of the Ravens, one of the finest skaters in roller derby, is jamming, and there she comes on the outside. Let's see, the whistle's blue. She did not start completely at the rear of the pack. I believe she's going to have to go back and start over again. And the Jammers must start at the rear of the pack. Here we go. Coming around on the outside and getting out. It looks like Laurie Scott of the Ravens, and Cavello out for the Bombers. Jean Porter, 56, out for the Ravens. Gloria Missa, 36, out for the Bombers. All four Jammers out and skating. And they're really moving. These girls skate at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. Down goes Missa, taken out by Jeannie Porter, and Cavello taken out by Laurie Scott. Now the Ravens are jamming by themselves. Action fast and furious in the roller derby. Another block in the back. There might be a Gloria Missa retains her balance. He was almost past the point. Look at the girls come up on Gloria Missa. Both Jammers trying to pass her for points. Let's see if they can do it. There's a three block set up and down they go. Three girls form the block at the rear of that pack and dump both Porter and Alsop. No points scored. 21-11 the score remains. Well, timeout has been called down on the track with the score, the Bombers 11 and the Ravens 21. The track is being formed. We'll have action again as time is in. 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the first period and the last half. 4 periods in each half. Each period of 12 minutes duration. Laurie Scott on the outside, then she's flying, number 58. 90 seconds has started to tick off. There's the whip from out of the pack comes Gloria Missa for the Bombers, number 36. Also, Jeannie Porter is out, number 56. And Cavello is out, number 40 of the Bombers. All four Jammers out and moving. Porter there trying to backward block, and Cavello with a block on Porter. Look at these girls battle it out. Two great skaters going at it. Oh, the fans love the action of roller derby. Two great skaters battling it out. Porter 56, Cavello number 40. Another block, and down goes Cavello, and down goes Porter. Here are your Jammers, the ones that are remaining. Porter and Cavello, even though they're wearing the striped helmets, they're not jamming on this play as their fall put them back in the pack. They have not circled the track. There are only two Jammers in there. 58, Laurie Scott, who receives that block, and down she goes along with Gloria Missa. Well, that ended things rather abruptly for Laurie Scott and Gloria Missa. That jam ends, no score, 21-11 the score remains. A little over 3 minutes to go. Action fast and furious. The only skaters allowed to sit out a lap on the rail there is Gloria Missa at 98 pounds, are the Jammers. The pack must keep moving at all times. Roller derby demands tremendous conditioning, probably the finest conditioned athletes in America today. If you could watch these skaters in training school, you'd easily understand why. In training school, they'll form a long line, start going around the track, really moving, and they'll skate for an hour solid without stopping. I've seen skaters come out who would like to be a part of the roller derby. They get on the track at the end of this long line, and inside of one lap, they'd be lost. It takes at least a year to become good enough condition to even work out with these skaters. Out and flying 56, Jean Porter, the Indian girl once again. And Cavello, number 40, out for the Bombers. Watch these girls battle it out. Cavello drops the lead, and Porter's right back on the inside. And these girls are really moving. They've got, beautiful, beautiful. Tremendous skating. They've got the rear of the back. Watch Porter trying to buy. She got by Anna Jensen for a point. She slipped by Anna's Big Red Jensen for a point to Jean Porter, number 56 of the Ravens. Score now 22-11. 22-11. The Ravens leading the Bombers. 40 seconds to go here in this period, and then we'll have the men on the track. Track keeps moving all the time. A change of helmets in between jams. We'll have 2 jammers out on this one. They can change helmets between the jams. Rapid helmets now being worn by 16 water still jamming for the Ravens. So if he's working on the straps, you might be taking off the helmet. Roberta Mitchell, 33 for the Bombers, will be jamming. Pat Bruns, 34, will also be jamming for the Bombers. Gene Porter still jamming for the Ravens. Also, Sharon Stevens, number 52. Stevens is out of the pack. She slipped by on the inside. Number 52, your leading jammer, Roberta Mitchell, coming up 33. All 4 jammers out once again. Jams are called off when the 90 seconds elapses, or the leading jammer can call off the jam, but only the leading jammer, and that's with the motion of the hands on the hips. Also, the jam is called off if the leading jammer falls. There's your secondary jammers. Porter and Bruns. There's your leading jammers. They've got the rear of the pack. There's a blocking in the pack. Watch the action. Sharon Stevens trying to go by. Roberta Mitchell grabs the lead. Watch the battle there at the rear of the pack as they try and score points. Sharon also 55 to the block on Roberta Mitchell. Gavello now a blocker. Trying to hold out Sharon Stevens. Still time for points. 10 seconds remaining in this jam. Sharon Stevens 52 trying to get by Ann Gavello for a point. Time is almost up. There it is. No score in that jam, and that brings to close the first period here in the second half. The score 22-11. The Ravens leading the Bombers in a hard-fought game despite the score. Elmer, this would probably be a good time to describe the changeover.
The changeover, well, as we say in many of our telecasts, is probably one of the most beautiful, yet one of the most dangerous of maneuvers. This is when all 20 skaters are on the track at the same time. And if you'll notice, their movements are like those of a ballet dancer. They must be in perfect synchronization. This is now in this particular case where the girls are turning over the second skating period of the second half to the men. This roller derby game is skated in 12-minute periods. There's 8 periods to the game. Slight shot there, Dr. Stanley Rochelle working on the girl. Now watch this changeover. This is where the skaters fear the most because they're hoping that the leader doesn't fall, slip, or trip. And it looks like everything has gone along okay as they skate along this brand new, the fastest track in the history of roller derby on the masonite surface, and away goes your play-by-play announcer.
Jammers trying to work their way out of the pack. Charlie O'Connell riding good and things ahead of the pack for the Bombers number 40, but getting by on the inside for the Ravens. Number 52, Dave Battersby, a speed merchant. Georgie Run Jones right now in 36 of the Bombers. Also out 54, Claude Butch Neer of the Ravens. And your number 4 jammer out there, number 2 jammer for the Bombers, 34, is Bob Bale. Battersby doing the blocking job. If he can hold back the 2 Bomber jammers, he'd give Neer, his fellow jammer, a chance to get a big lead. Battersby sitting along behind his fellow jammer, keeping the Bombers bottled up. The Bomber jammers unable to get past the Dave Battersby. Joe Lorino, 38 of the Bombers, former coach of the Brooklyn Red Devils, will be at the rear of the pack to block as Butch Neer, 54, moves in behind him. Watch the action now. Lorino, 38 with a block on Butch Neer. Retired from the roller derby once and then came back to the Bomber squad. One of the real great veterans. Bob Butch Neer trying to move by for points. Here's Neer making a move again. Hey, and this side, and he got by Lorino for a point. Now he's right behind Charlie O'Connell, the coach of the Bombers. Let's see if he moves by for another point. There's O'Connell with a block, and Lorino with a block on Neer. Neer's already passed Lorino for 1 point. Time is almost up. Time is up from that jam. Here can hear the seconds being called off, so he sort of relaxed before the buzzer. He did score points to make it now 23-11. The Ravens over the Bombers. In the second period of play here at the roller derby, America's fastest growing sport. Kind of game that we have 3 officials working inside the track. It's the only way you can keep track on all the action at the roller derby. The track will be formed once again and will be underway. Bob Butch Neer has switched over to a blocker's helmet. Jamming this time for the Ravens will be Bobby Seaver, 53, and 51, Don Olson. Del Reno is going to jam for the Bombers. coming through on the inside and getting out of this little Bobby Seaver, 53 for the Ravens. Bobby, in his first year of roller derby skating, is making great strides. There's Bellarino, 38, the veteran. 2-on-1 situation, 2 jammers for the Ravens, 1 for the Bombers. 51, Don Olson, 38, Bellarino of the Bombers, and 53, Bobby Seaver. White jerseys, the Ravens, and the dark jerseys. Watch the action as they make their move. Will Lorino call it off if he gets the lead? Down goes Lorino. He's up and skating again in a hurry, but they grab the big lead on Bill. They're still going. Lorino's flying up the back stretch, but they've got a big lead. They're going to get the rear of the pack. Charlie O'Connell, number 40, coach of the Bombers, at the rear of the pack block. He is this year's most valuable roller derby star. See the award after nationwide gold, taking the sports writers and sportscasters. Number 40, doing the blocking job there on 2 skaters. Roller derby's most valuable skater blocking there for the Bombers. There's Lorino moving into the picture now. Lorino moved in time and called it off. 23-11 the score remains. No score on that jam. Beautiful action there at the rear of the pack. You hear that roar from the fans as Bill Lorino finally got up to the rear of the pack. 7.5 minutes to go here in the second period in the last half. There's a lot of the girls on the Bomber squad talking things over, trying to figure out just what they're going to do in their next period. They're going to have to do something. They trail in this game by 12 big points, a real sizable lead. Sharon Alsop being worked over in the infield by the attendant. Sore muscles, which is easy to understand, but the balls that they take in this roller derby, a real rough sport. Have to have a rugged constitution to take part in roller derby. And out of there in a hurry is Dave Battersby, 52. This young man can fly. Out of there also 34, Bob Mayo, and Bill Lorino is out of there for the Bombers. Oh, down went Battersby. Because he had the lead. Talk to Elbows Anderson. You think Battersby had a little too much speed jumping into that corner?
There is such a thing, Walt, as too much speed. You know, this bank track here, banked 45 degrees on each turn, allows for the maximum speeds of about up to 40 miles an hour for the men. And for the ladies and the girls, it's 33 miles an hour clocked officially by the University of Chicago Electric Eye and the Time Trials. This is the only sport, of course, in the world where both men and women compete against each other on an equal basis. All the rules, regulations are the same. No differentiation whatsoever between the men and the women's fields. The pack is back intact. Of course, all jams emanate from that pack. Watch from the rear of the pack, those wearing the striped helmets. They're the only ones allowed to score.
There they go. Big scramble and see if there's a jammer out of the pack. Trying to get by on the outside of 35 of the Bombers. George Adams, and he was cut off. Out of there is Butch Neer, 54 for the Ravens. Out is 35, Georgie Adams for the Bombers. All the jammers are out. Julian Silva, 56 is out for the Ravens. 33, Fletcher Sanders for the Bombers. Julian Silva, one of the fastest men on skates, 56 of the Ravens. From the infield there, that's Bob Mayo trying to urge his teammates on to greater speed and pulling away, believe it or not. There's Georgie Adams, 35. His first month of roller derby skating, and he's getting a whip. When he gets one, he's got a whip for a point for Bellarino, and he called it off immediately. 1 point, and he called it off. That makes the score 23-12. The Ravens leading the Bombers. He called it off immediately before his partner, who gave him the whip, could be passed by jammers for the opposing team for points. Well, timeout has been called down on the track with the score. The Bombers 12, the Ravens 23. And then the back of the bunch in just a moment. We'll have action again. Charlie O'Connell is going to jam for his Bombers, number 40. Also Fletcher Sanders, 33. Dave Battersby, 52 of the Ravens jamming. And I think Julian Silva, let's see, coming around on the outside. That's not Silva, it's Don Olson. He's out and flying, number 51. Charlie O'Connell got loose on the inside. Laying with the block for O'Connell, which he missed. Let's see if Don Olson will call it off. right behind John Olson. Olson waiting with the block, which he missed. O'Connell's by the inside. He's got Bill Marino in front of the block for him. Watch the action at the rear of the back. Marino's going to give the whip on the outside. Look at the blocking in between. And it's called off on O'Connell to move by the move ball. 2 points were scored. There's Charlie O'Connell, the man that did the job, roller derby's most valuable skater. Score now 23-14. The Ravens leading the Bombers. You can see that time, Melvin, there was some deep blocking in the pack, right?
Well, this is not an individualist game. It's strictly a teamwork proposition here. No skater here could possibly score on his own. It's possible, but all teamwork is so necessary in this, the most fast-growing sport in America today. The penalty box now, we see Julian Silva down there with his coach sort of laying the law down to him. The Ravens are skating at this time short one member.
No jammers out yet. Butch Neer and Battersby are right behind Marino. Let's see if they get by. Getting by on the inside there. 54, Butch Neer. Bill Marino's going down and try and put him back in the pack. Marino has a blocker wearing a solid-colored helmet. Cannot jam. He can just slow the jammer down. Try and put him back in the pack. He cannot call off the jam either. Only the leading jammer can call it off. Bomber jammers unable to work their way up as yet. Battles at the head of the pack between Battersby and Marino. Battersby pulling away now. Georgie Renlund Jones is going out after number 36 for the Bombers. He is also a blocker, so he cannot call it off. Meanwhile, the 90-second starts to tick off. There's the pack as they jockey for position. They want to get that key blocking position when the jammer gets up there. The only jammer, 52, is for the Ravens. Moving in there behind Charlie O'Connell now. Watch him try and get by. There's O'Connell with the block on Battersby. 36 Jones jammed, but he's wearing a blocker's helmet, so all he can do is block. Slowing them down. On when that 90 seconds kick off. No score as the 90 seconds went by. 23-14 the score remains. The Ravens leading the Bombers. A minute and 20 seconds to go here in the second period in the last half. Underway 1 minute. It is possible to score in this last minute. The jammer can get out of there in a hurry, and if they slow the pack down. Once the jammer's out, say it belongs to the Ravens, so then his teammates will try and slow the pack down so he can catch it as quick as possible, allow more time to try and score. Both teams at full strength. No jammers out yet. 36 seconds to go. There go a couple of jammers. 30 seconds. Bobby Seaver, 53, the block on Fletcher Sanders, 33 of the Bombers. 20 seconds to go. Really pouring it on, trying to catch that pack. 12 seconds left in this period, and we'll have the girls on the track. 7 seconds, he's closing on the pack. Villarino there to block. 2. There it is. Time is up. No score. John Rhodes. Bobby Seaver, but he was up again immediately. So no score on that jam. It remains 23-14. Ravens leading the Bombers here as we move into the third period of play. Yellow Ward, 53 of the Ravens, 34 Pat Bruns of the Bombers, and 51 is Sandy Gold of the Ravens. Also breaking out of the pack, Roberta Mitchell, 33 of the Bombers. All 4 jammers are out and moving. Pat Bruns with the lead, 34. There's the pack as they jockey for position. Block and Sharon Stevens. What kind of girls? The roller derby stars. Well, Anna's Big Red Jensen, 38 there at the head of the pack, and the mother of three fine youngsters. Nice woman as you'd ever care to meet. She's one of the real roller derby greats. There are the jammers at the rear of the pack. And Cavello there blocking for the Bombers on Ella Ward. The leading jammer is 34 of the Bombers. That's the action at the rear of the pack as they try and move in for points. Still trying for points. 34, your leading jammer. A whip coming up from Roberta Mitchell to Pat Bruns, but not close enough to do any real good. Time is up in the jam, no score. 23 to 14 remains. Here's the Raven squad talking things over. Paul Bennett, the coach. Talking to a member in the penalty box. Legal block. Remember, if a penalty is called, you must skate minus that member. And if the penalty is called at the end of a period, say it should be called in the girls, well, then a member of the man squad will have to sit out that penalty time, so it carries over from one period to the next. Ravens one member short here on a 2-minute penalty on 51, Sandy Gold. Now it's jamming number 33 for the Bombers, Roberta Mitchell, with a good lead. Out of the back yet for the Ravens. Roy Scott in there trying to clear the way. Out of the back comes Ella Ward. And as Big Red Jensen is going out, trying to put her in the back. Watch the action. Roy Scott 58 trying to keep Annis Jensen out of there. That's the action. Tremendous blocking in there. Tremendous skating. Annis Jensen succeeded in doing her job as a blocker. She slowed Ella Ward down. Coming up from the rear of the pack, though, Roberta Mitchell, 33 in scoring position now. She's got a teammate, Ann Cavello, in front to block for her. She missed a block, and Sharon Alsop, 55. Let's try it again. Sharon Alsop there blocking Roberta Mitchell. Cavello missed her again with a block. Down goes Roberta Mitchell. The jam comes abruptly to an end. No score. 23 to 14 remains. The Ravens leading the Bombers. Dean Porter comes back onto the track wearing a jammer's helmet, number 56. There's Dean Porter, 56, putting on the jammer's helmet, number 55 putting on a jammer's helmet also. Here's Sharon Alsop with the Ravens. And Cavello, number 40, is going to jam for the Bombers. Also, Annis Red Jensen is going to jam, so you're going to see four of your greatest roller derby stars out on this jam. Watch the action now. There they come on the outside, moving by. Coming out of there first, the Sharon Alsop 55. Annis Jensen out 38 of the Bombers. Dean Porter out 56 of the Ravens. And Cavello coming out too. Four great skaters. These girls can really move. Over 7 minutes to go here in the third period in the last half. Annis Jensen there with the lead. Dean Porter trying to get in the inside for a block. Jensen with a block on Porter. Caught the rear of the back. There goes Jensen inside to call it out. See how many points he got, but they call it off and done. 3 big points to the delight of the fans. Makes the score 23 to 17. Timeout has been called down on the track with the score: the Bombers 17, the Ravens 23. Again, a little over 6 minutes to go here in the third period in the last half. Out and flying is Sharon Alsop, 55 for the Ravens. And Cavello is out right behind her for the Bomber, number 40. 23-17 the score. The Ravens lead the Bombers. There's Anna Jensen missing a block on Jean Porter, the Indian girl. The Porter has scored with her block. This is the secondary jam. Down on your first jam goes Ann Calvello. Looked there by Sharon Alsop, who's closing on the rear of the pack. Annis Jensen there to block number 38. 55 is a girl trying to score, and she's by Annis Jensen. Annis Jensen with a series of blocks on Sharon Alsop. Coming up is Ann Calvello now, who's got the rear of the pack. She puts the block on Alsop. There's a whip to Calvello on the outside. Let's see if she gets around for a point. She can try for a couple, maybe for four. Let's see what the score is. She's going to try for five, if she can catch Alsop. What's the action now? This could be five. Time is running out. Time ran out. She's not able to get by Sharon Alsop. And Gavello. He scored 4 big points. 1 point was also scored in there by the Ravens. Their score now, 24-21. The Ravens over the Bombers in another exciting roller derby game. A little over 4 minutes to go here in this period. Once again, and here we go with the action. Coming out of there at 52 for the Ravens, Sharon Stevens. Lovely form last. Right behind her, Pat Run, 34 of the Bombers. All 4 jammers are out. There's Pat Run, the block, and Stevens. Charlie O'Connell there. Keeping an eye on things for his squad. They trail by 3, trying to get back into this game. Look at the action in the back as these girls battle for that key position. Block after block. And they really rock them and they sock them. Look at the action. Tremendous action. And really fine skating to retain your balance with that kind of blocking. Meanwhile, your jammers are moving on the back, and they're going to get some points if that blocking continues to go on, and the back skaters are all over the track. Well, the officials are going to have to untangle this, check the skaters, see how many points were scored. Timeout's been called after that fall. There's a serious fall on the track. The officials always call timeout to make sure that no one is injured. On that ball, they gave 6 points to the Ravens. Three to the Bombers makes the score 30-24. Ball and skaters were past 4 points. There's O'Connell out there talking with the officials. He thinks the wrong decision was arrived at in total points. That's the way it remains in the scoreboard. 30-24. The Ravens leading the Bombers. Back is punching once again. Roberta Mitchell out in a hurry for the Bombers, number 33. Also out, Sharon Stevens for the Ravens, 52, and Lori Scott, 58 for the Ravens. Pat Bunn, 34 for the Bombers. All 4 jammers out and flying once again. Jammers having a great deal of success getting out tonight. Leading jammers blocking there. Very important to have the lead. The leading jammer can call it off. Back, moving down the stretch, the jammers closing on the back. There they are at the rear of the pack. Watson makes their move. Roberta Mitchell, 33, grabs the lead. Remember, the jammer does not have to have the lead to score, though. Annis Jensen dropping back to block number 38. She's putting blocks on Sharon Stevens for the Ravens. Roberta Mitchell trying to get by Jean Porter on the outside. By Jensen. job on Roberta Mitchell. Minute and a half to go in this period. Almost up. Time is up. Jam ends. No score, the official signal on that jam. It is now 30-24. It remains 30-24. The Ravens leading the Bombers. It's a real hard-fought game tonight, Elmer.
Certainly one of the most strategically planned games I've ever seen in a long, long time, Walt. It looks like the Bay Bombers, although they currently are up in the top of the league, are being given the roughest, toughest fight by the Ravens. The Ravens have done a fabulous job in working their way up the ladder of success toward the top of that league standing, thanks to the coaching and the training and all the integral parts that make a team work together. The Ravens team has done a fabulous job. It will be a credit to whoever they go to their own place. Right now there's some action in front of that Walt.
Remember, the way you score in roller derby, the jammers who are in the striped helmet start at the rear of the pack. They have to work their way through the pack past the opposing blockers. Once the jammer is out of the pack, 90 seconds starts to tick off. During the 90 seconds, the jammer must circle the track and catch the pack. And then for each member of the opposing team, he or she passes, he or she gets a point. Right now, your leading jammer is Gene Porter. Only the leading jammer can call off the jam. The jam also ends if the leading jammer is deposited on the track or put out onto the infield. Gene Porter has got the rhythm. Pull away by the Bombers. They're all out of skating. They're going to try and outskate Gene Porter, 56. This is the girl that can score, 56. The Bombers are out and skating. No blockers in front of them. Let's see if they can outskate her. Gene Porter getting the whip. Coming up on Ann Calvello. Time is running out. She's going to have to get by in a hurry. Seconds left. The inside. Get by or not. Let's see if she got by for points. The official signal she did. He got 1 point just as time ran out. Makes the score 31-24, and there's a protest going on down in the infield. The Bombers squad over there immediately to talk to the officials. They don't think that Gene Porter got by for that point. It's a very important point as we move into the last period of play. 31-24 is now the score. The Ravens leading the Bombers. Elmer, as a former roller derby great, they nicknamed you Elbows because you were tremendous. They had to change the rules in kind of your rough blocking in roller derby day. Can you explain that pull away by the Bombers?
Well, that's the fact of defense by the Ravens team, Walt. And that pull away by the Bombers, they were getting out and starting to move, and so Jeannie Porter had to fight on her own ability, her own way of scoring, as she was being blocked by Ann Calvello at top speed. And of course, trying to pass someone at top speed when you yourself are fighting to try to score is a feat only a skater can appreciate. Of course, you sport fans saw the pat on the back of Ann Calvello after she was passed by 1 point, for 1 point by Jeannie Porter. Patted Jeannie Porter on the back, and a real fine sign of good sportsmanship. And this, America's fastest growing sport, the roller derby, is certainly going to go a long way in the line of good sportsmanship. Wherever you might be watching roller derby tonight, watch for us wherever you might be. We'll be heading your way very, very shortly.
Action as we move into the last third of play. The Ravens lead the Bombers 31-24. O'Connell against the deck that time as he tried to put a block on Richard Rapp, number 50, who was out and jamming for the Ravens. Let's see, a young skater. Just flying out of skate. Charlie O'Connell, who took that ball, he might be having speed trouble. He's out there. He also might have hurt his ankle. The big backbone of this Bomber squad, and he's now in the infield being worked over by the attendants. Meanwhile, standing on the track is number 50, Richard Rapp. O'Connell has not get back into action in this period. It could be serious blow as the Bombers can't see overhauling the Ravens. The lead 31-24. Richard Rapp still jamming, trying to get to the pack. As he catches the pack, thanks to how well blockers in the pack do at slowing the pack down. He's got the rear of the pack, he's got a blocker in front of him, Bob Benner, 58. Let's see if Bob Benner can clear the way. Bill Areno, 38 is the first obstacle. Benner missed a block that time on Areno. He's going to try it again. Coming up fast, 35 for the Bombers. Georgie Adams. 58 50, still trying to score. Nice ball center. Driving the lead is Adams, 35. Chalked up 1-1 on the scoreboard. The official signal 2 for the Ravens. The next score, 33-25. 33-25 now the score. The Ravens leading the Bombers. 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the last period of play. Jammers will join the rear of the pack now, and we'll have another jam on the way. Charlie O'Connell still being worked on. Might have got a Charlie horse. Jammers trying to get loose out of the pack, getting out of there. 52 Dave Battersby for the Ravens. Battersby, he can really try. Pulling away from the back. Richard Sanders there, a blocker moving up on Richard Rapp. He blocks him out, lets his jammer get by 35 George Adams. Battersby has a sizable lead. Up onto the rail, number 50 goes Richard Rapp. Deposited up there by Fletcher Sanders of the Bombers. Catching the pack is 52, Dave Battersby. He's your leading jammer. He's got Bob Benner to block 158 again. 38 to the block. There's a point scored. Up onto the rail goes Mayo. Some more points scored in there. We got 5 two skaters on that particular jam. 35-25 the score now. Ravens pull away from the Bombers here in the last period. Charlie O'Connell has come back onto the track for the Bombers. Bill Marino is going to jam for the Bombers, and Julian Silva, the fastest man on stage, number 56, is going to jam for the Ravens. Under 8 minutes now, 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. Action ahead of the pack was a jockey for that lead position. And out front is the one that can slow down the back and clear the way for his jammer. Getting by on the inside in a hurry is Bellarino, number 38. Charlie O'Connell now is trying to keep the Ravens bottled up, trying to keep their jammers from getting loose. Even move by on the inside. O'Connell's out trying to put them back in the back again. Watch the block by O'Connell. Is out of the back for the Ravens, number 56. Let's see if he can overtake Bill Marino. Silva is gaining ground on Marino. Unless they're waving his teammates on. Got the rear of the pack. Donald drops back to block Julian Silva. Donald, number 40. 38, your leading jammer, Marino. Coming up to try and clear the way for Marino. There's his block on Gatto. There's 1 point. A block on the shoot. That's here. They're by 2 or 2 for 3 points. They call it off. Charlie O'Connell doing the blocking job that time for Bellarino. Allowed him to score 3 points. The timeout has been called down on the track with the score. The Bombers 20. I think that's 28. 28 and the Ravens 35.
Timeout is over. Both teams are joining each other now for about the next 6 minutes and 20 seconds of one of the most exciting roller derby games it's been our privilege to watch and comment on. Walt, the mic's all yours.
Walt Hurst and Elmer Anderson, that's the roller derby. Score 35-28, the Ravens leading the Bombers. Getting around, trying to get by on the outside, number 35, Georgie Adams. Out in front of him is the jammer for the Ravens, Butch near 54. Julian Silva also out, number 66 for the Ravens. 35-28, all they have to do is protect that lead. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. They can can wage an offensive battle and win this game. Remember, if their jammer has the lead, he can call off the jam. So eat up the clock, so to speak. But the Adams try to call it off then. Give us a chance. Himself a chance to get some of his teammates out. Not have the lead. Dennis blocking there at the rear of the pack. O'Connell battling it out. The Ravens. On the back. Ravens Jammers have the lead. What's near 54, your leading jammer. Blocked by there, and here moves by for a point. He hasn't called it off yet. He looked over his shoulder to see how his teammates are doing. Silva's moving up. Silva's going to try and score a point. He moves by O'Connor for a point. Blocked by there doing his job. He might have got 2 points on that one. 4 points. He's got 3. 38-28 score now. The Ravens lead by 10. 44 seconds to go in the game. 4.5 minutes left in the game. Ravens just solid lead here. 10 points. Bunch this time. Dave Patterson had a couple of minor helmets and fit. He is in the game as a jammer for the Ravens. This road, they're thinking the start of another jam. So here we go. Time running out on the Bombers. The Ravens doing a great job in tonight's game. Running by on the outside, Fletcher Sanders, 33. Reno and O'Connell riding herd at the head of the pack for the Bombers, trying to keep the Ravens bottled up. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Still blocking there at the head of the pack. Ravens unable to get anyone out of this jam. The lone jammer is Fletcher Sanders. The pack is moving at a pretty good clip. He's having a little trouble catching the pack. Fletcher Sanders. He's got the rear of the pack now, and he has Bill Lorino in front to block for him. Let's see if Lorino can set up a play. 30 seconds remaining in this jam. Lorino, 38 moving into the block on Gatchel. There's the point. The center being blocked, but Sanders did not get by. Big jam up there. Fletcher Sanders scored 1, and that's all he's got so far. Jam is called off. Dave Battersby, 52, grabbed the lead and called off the jam. On the game, 1 point scored then to the Bombers. They now trail 38-29. 2 minutes remaining. This could be the last jam of the game unless it's called off. Curry getting out of there at 34. Bob Mayo. Mayo's out of jamming for the Bombers. No one out for the Ravens yet. Conwell Lorino there at the head of the pack doing the job. Taking another jammer out. Jammer is 35, Georgie Adams. Out after Adams, a blocker, Don Olson for the Ravens, but O'Connell puts him back in the pack. Tremendous speed, tremendous blocking here in this roller derby game. Let's see it to believe it. There's your leading jammer. Bob Mayo, 34. 38-29 to score. Minute and 10 seconds to go in the game. This could be the last effort by the Bombers to pull this game out of the fire. It would take a sensational point splurge here to do it. Top the rear of the pack is Lorino with a block. There's 1 point. They need a lot more. Gatchel holding him out now. Ralph Benner in there with a block now on Mayo. Up comes Adams, 35. Up comes Battersby, 52. He'll call it off when he grabs the lead. And the jam ends. 34 25 seconds remaining. 1 point scored there. 38-20. 38-30 the score. Ravens still lead the Bombers. This game is running out. They'll get a jam underway, and points have been scored in less than 25 seconds, but not very often. 16 seconds remaining. Out of the pack, moving. 34, Bob Mayo. The time is definitely running out. 7 seconds. They'll not get around to catch the pack. This game draws to a close. Another exciting roller derby game, with the Ravens beating the Bombers by the score of 38-30. Elmer, take over.
All I can say, Walt Harris, is that this has certainly been one of the most interesting, strategic-wise, games it's been my pleasure to comment on. It's been a pleasure having Walt Harris with us here tonight to help on the play-by-play thing here of the roller derby. Walt, I just want to say now that this is Elmer Anderson speaking on behalf of Walt Harris and the skaters, and we want to wishing you all a very pleasant good night, reminding you that the final score of tonight's game was 38 for the Ravens, 30 for the Bay Bombers.